Fuming. Fuck off, Tom.
I did backtrack over all of them this week to filter them all in. It's more normal.
Yeah.
Although I'd appreciate if everyone went Google Form from now on out as much as possible. It makes my life much easier.
Perfect.
But yeah, someone whose life isn't getting any easier is Brian McDermott.
Yeah. No. And again, I can't put my finger on it. This Leeds team. The only thing I can land on is there must be something going on.
But Danny Maguire was back in this game.
No, that's what I'm saying.
And they still lost to one of the worst two teams in the league.
I agree. I completely agree. There must be something going on behind closed doors that's causing this, because this team doesn't get this bad this quickly without there being some kind of sizable thing happening in the background.
What about...
As a group of players, they're not
What about the training ground?
Being flooded?
Yeah.
Is it not back up and running yet?
But has that had a significant effect on these players being able to get any sort of...
You can't tell me that Leeds Rhinos, with the facilities and the influence and the money that they've got, can't find somewhere. I don't even know if... Look, I'd be interested to learn whether or not the training ground is out of commission for them. Because if they're not training in their own facilities, then I still refuse to believe that Leeds Rhinos don't have the resources to put them somewhere where they can train.
No, but when you throw in...
Like at the uni
when you throw in the losses of the leaders...
Yeah.
Or a Fev, because, you know...
Yeah.
Fev's players train at Leeds anyway.
Yeah.
Jordan Lilly played at Fev this week.
He did, yeah.
And that wound me up.
Was he in your dream team?
No, but why it winds me up is he's a good young player.
He should be getting his run out.
Who there's no reason. I know Rob Burrow made the stats roundup, but you know Rob Burrow, if he's running, means he's not fucking setting up any tries.
That's because Rob Burrow's been interchange hooker.
No, he played in the halves again.
In the halves.
So that's 4 games in a row he's played in the halves, and 4 games in a row he's created sod all.
Yeah.
And from what the numbers show me and from the bits I've seen.
But Rob Burrow isn't a creative player in that way, is he?
Whereas Jordan Lilly is.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. Didn't Liam Sutcliffe play on like the wing or at fullback in this? The team was a bit of an odd shape.
They're out of balance and they paid the price.
But yeah, Sunderland 2 tries, 2 assists, 5 tackles on his comeback. Basically, when he came off the bench, it went from being 0-0 to 10-0 pretty quick.
Yeah, I like seeing Sean do well against Leeds. I never really felt like he got a fair shake with him.
I don't know if that was Leeds' fault. He won a ring there, didn't he?
He did, but it was...
I think it was more Huddersfield.
He was always like behind Badiris and then...
I think Huddersfield were always going to retain him. Because really, he should have gone to Leeds that next year and taken over the mantle from Badiris long term.
True.
That's what Leeds should have done, and they didn't do it. I think they maybe thought McShane was going to come through quicker than he did.
Yeah, possibly.
Although McShane, they sent out to witness that year when Lund came in, didn't they?
Yeah.
Kieran Dixon with a try, 205 metres and 2 clean breaks. Adam Walker, 3rd time in a row for the alleged Adam Johnson. 1 try assist, 16.
No one's accusing him of Adam Johnson now.
160 something metres, I think this must have been, because I've written this one down wrong. And 3 successful offloads for Adam Walker. Ken Seo 147 metres as well.
Maybe that's why they sent Jordan Lilly to play at Fev, because he looks so young. They were worried that Adam Walker would be WhatsApping him.
Won't be sure.
Like, I know he's not a girl, but he does look underage, allegedly. Maybe that's it.
Callum Watkins 106 metres, 2 clean breaks. Rob Burrow 5 tackles, 124 metres. Mitch A. Church 124 metres, and Adam Cuthbert's now throwing his name in for his 7 offloads, being a very high number.
That's higher than we've been used to.
But that was me scratching around. I've got a feeling, right, Ken Theo's going to be our replacement for Josh Charnley. I don't know why. I just think he fits the mould of probably not going to be that expensive to buy.
Yeah.
Lenigan signing.
Yeah, because the other rumour is Justin Carney, isn't it?
Yeah. But
I don't think you need to bring that fucking unhinged psychopath into your team. Kensio, I think you go, Kensio. I think you get that. You get more utility from Kensio.
You get more consistency from Kensio.
He plays well. He makes meters, and you can put him at full back. You can basically play him in the box. You can basically play him in the back 5, can't you? Which you can't do that with Justin Carney. So that wouldn't be a bad signing, would it?
No.
Right.
There's nothing in it. That's just me making it up.
Yeah, no, I think it would be good.
No, I'm not hoping. I'm hoping that. I'm hoping that Budgie comes back. He realises that playing for a group of shit who can't win a game down under and they're not even pointing aside.
They'll improve.
That only try scorer.
They'll improve when they get their half back. Right, okay. Dr. Bob Phillips, he just said, oh, bloody hell. Yep, fair enough, that just about covers it. Colin Render, don't like to see anybody sacked, but is this time for a change at Leeds? The only problem is there's not many people out there who could replace him. An NRL assistant maybe, or an ex-Leeds coach, just not Mac Banana.
When I read this, when I was putting into the rundown, I thought, No, he won the treble last year. He's won the league 3 times. He's won the Challenge Cup twice.
But there's always been these rumblings about the way he gets, about the way they play and who he is. There's always been that kind of sentiment.
This is the thing. That was the thing. At first, my immediate reaction was no, but then I thought, hold on, how much of what like Steve-O's been saying, Mark, not
Steve-O,
not.
Well, he doesn't say
Mike,
a lot these days.
Mark, not Mike.
Yeah.
What Mark's been saying, filtering through. That started to seep into me and started to think how much of the strong stuff they did was more the outstanding on-field leadership of Jamie Peacock and Kevin Sinfield. Now, I've criticised Sinfield's playing ability a number of times, but his leadership ability I could never question. He turned games around by some of the kicks to touch he would make from penalties into the south stand, and it'd get the whole stadium changed and then win the game in the last 10 minutes. And they don't have... I don't feel like they have that. They don't have that. Even Danny Maguire doesn't have that talismanic character. No matter what you say, clearly, didn't make much of a difference here. And so I'm starting to think maybe it is time for a change. Which direction they would go, I don't know. But maybe it is time for a change. Maybe they need a regrouping. Maybe these players need to hear a different message.
Yeah.
Maybe these young players coming through need a better direction than what McDermott's offering them.
Absolutely.
And it's hard to say this with his record of winning trophies.
Yeah.
But
I love Brian McDermott for his days at Bradford.
But he's lost a lot of the support network, I suppose, in that.
I don't think he's a bad coach. So look, when he did a reasonable job at London when he was getting his arse handed to him on a weekly basis, and I think he's done well. I think he's, you can't. It's just tough to level a criticism at him for what he's achieved with them. And say what you want about the personality at his disposal, he still had to marshal that team into a group of people who were going to work towards a common goal. It wasn't a case of just like turn up and say out you go and play, lads, and see how they do. But if he's going to get sacked, brilliant. Let's have him at Bradford. Okay. Richard Wilkinson, a man who's going to have to get used to being at Bradford and wearing bull shirts, said, well, that was a shocking display. It's hard being a Rhino right now. Team confidence is totally shot. And Brian Davies said, Leeds, bless him, not having a settled base for training and unable to fill the team of internationals. Welcome to our world. It's been like that for Trinity since we got into Super League in 1999. Except we haven't got loads of money or the best pick of the youngsters to help. Plenty of Schadenfreude at the moment, I'm afraid. There you are. Okay, so at the same time, over at Langtree Park, St Helens was shooting out to an early lead against Hull FC, and then FC pegged them back and actually managed the game really well, winning with a drop goal from Mark Sneed in the last minute from about 40 metres out. Great kick, really good play.
And back to Jordan Lilly, he kicked a drop goal from nearly halfway for Fev, but Fax then got a penalty, didn't he?
Yes.
But anyway, that's more for later. But
But Hull's positive Easter weekend continued.
Yeah, massively so. They were 16-10 down at half time, weren't they?
They were, yeah. I think they might have been 10-0 down as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
So they did well. And this just shows kind of like the corner that Hull FC have turned for me, because I think a year ago they would have lost this game perhaps by a drop goal or by more. And
although they did win at Saints last year.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
But not in a close game, in a game where Saints had a lot of young players who couldn't tackle after injuries. Do you remember?
I see. But it's still an improvement in terms of it does kind of go to illustrate Hull FC's improvement, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely. Jamie Shaw with a try assist and 172 kick return, I'm guessing, metres.
Yeah.
Kirk Keeman with a try and 123 metres, so solid Easter for Kirk Keeman. It's going to be hard to dislodge from that side now. And maybe him and this other next name, Gareth Ellis with 40 tackles, their sort of experience has possibly helped with on-field leadership and resilience, maybe, I don't know.
Well, they didn't have Leon Price, did they still? So, yeah.
Frank Pritchard with 103 metres. Kyle Amor and Alex Walmsley both made the stats round up again, and Savelio, 143, 114 and 110 metres respectively, so
he's a good one to have in your dream team, Kyle Amor.
Front row still went good for Saints, but obviously it wasn't enough 2 weeks in a row, 2 games in a row. James Roby, 42 tackles and 111 metres, back to something like what he should be doing every week.
Roby-esque
we haven't seen him on the stats roundup over Easter.
Hasn't it? Yeah, it's been a while. Okay, Langer's got in touch. He's a Hull FC fan. 3rd narrow win in a row. FC looking like they've learned how to close these out after a couple of close losses early on and last season. 5th place prediction is back on.
Yeah, definitely.
Snade, possibly more. Stayed, Houghton and Ellis immense versus Wolves and now against Saints. And then Scoots 28 Max, she got in touch as well. So it was another good performance for almost all the match, led to a 1-point win, which in previous years would have certainly been a loss as we couldn't close matches. Snade's second good match. Ellis continues to be awesome. Pritchard was more involved, which helped. Difficult to say that anyone had a bad game.
Amazing, yeah.
Okay, so over at the DW then, it was Wigan taking on Warrington in a top of the table clash, and despite losing, despite losing Chris Soudard to injury, because Wigan lost Sean O'Loughlin to injury as well.
Pretty much at the same time, a couple of sets later maybe?
Yeah, within 5 minutes of each other, but Wigan ended up losing by 28 points to 16 against the Warrington side, who look ever the title contenders at the moment for me.
Yeah, and this solidified that for sure. Wigan had a crack of an opening to come back into it and just couldn't execute well enough. That the memory will stick in my mind from this game will be the Gildart knock on when he wasn't really expecting the ball from a scrum where all the momentum was with us and it was all lost in one errant bit of play. And I'm not blaming the kid. I still think he's a great player. I just think it happened to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, to be honest, whilst you qualified Sando's loss with Sean O'Loughlin's, Sandow was the man of the match in this match, even though he only played half an hour. Yeah. He was that good when he was on the pitch.
That pass he put out to
that kick.
Kevin Kenny, the kick as well. He's just insane, isn't he?
The kick for.
I really hope he doesn't. I really hope when he comes back from his injury that it doesn't have an effect on him and he can sort of pick up where he left off, because he has been exceptional to watch.
Oh, definitely. Wigan did read a couple of his kicks for himself and they managed to sort of box him in on that, but it just meant he found a different way to go and do something different. He was a joy to watch from that perspective. I mean, there was a couple of his interjections into the game in that first half an hour that I just had to applaud. I couldn't do anything but. I don't think that Wigan were rubbish in the first half. They defended like St Helens on Good Friday, to be honest. They weren't making enough tackles, particularly down the Higginson, Smith, Joel corridor, which was always going to be the defensive worry. Warrington's attacking strength against our defensive weakness was always going to be a problem. Obviously, when Sandow went off, that fixed up a bit. Wigan won the second half, and were not. And the only try Warrington scored in the second half was very lucky. I mean, credit to Atkins for having the presence of mind to get back on and find out where the line was. Very well. And just about get it down.
Yeah, it was definitely a try, and that's the old pro in Ryan Atkins, isn't it? That's the lad who knows, And it was just years of playing rugby league.
It was a milestone score for him as well, wasn't it? I think, but definitely. I'm not gonna take it away from him, but it was lucky that he didn't hit a Wigan player when he juggled it all the way through.
To be fair, there was enough. Enough Wigan players around the back of him that meant he shouldn't have got that ball down on the line anyway.
And at that stage, Warrington deserved the luck. Yeah, to be completely honest, Manfredi was excellent.
It was excellent in his interview afterwards as well.
I didn't see that.
No swearing.
No. Well, he's used to it now. That was his second period.
Not going to get me this time.
And he's got to be in the England conversation. Him and Tom Johnson have got to be in the reckoning. Maybe it's a little bit early for Tom, but Manfredi at 22, playing probably close to 50 Super League games or 50 first grade games. He's outstanding. There's no two ways about it.
I agree.
Another man who's outstanding is Chris Hill, and that sliver of an opportunity that Wigan opened up kind of closed when Chris Hill came back on 15 minutes into the second half. To be perfectly honest,
once they got their starting props back on the field, you felt that Warrington were going to tighten up again, and they did.
What actually happened is Warrington were able to make meters again in the middle, which they'd stopped doing for 25 minutes of the game. Wigan when Sims never really made. He worked really hard and he hit the line really hard, but it wasn't really making a massive impact on the game. But Hill was, whenever he carried it, he did something. When he went off, or when he was tiring as well towards the end of his first spell, Wigan actually seemed to have some sort of pack, and we didn't have much of a pack in this game. To be completely honest, our pack was awesome against Leeds. Do you remember how amazing our pack was? Since then, the pack's been fairly poor. In patches, good moments, but mostly pretty poor. And in this game, it was one of those where the pack didn't do enough to set a platform for our average / bad half-back combination. And in the end, we just ran out of ideas when we were pushing it too much and did sort of lost our way. But Warrington
but you
deserved
had to
the win.
push the game and they had to force the issue. So
Warrington most definitely deserved the win for that first half.